Have you ever started to do a hypnosis process or an NLP process and the client says, I can't visualize? Well, if that's the case, then this video is for you, because this will often happen. You'll have people come into the session, or you start talking about the processes, you say to them, okay, in a moment, I want you to close your eyes and imagine this, and they go, I'm really no good at visualizing. Now, often the case is that they have an unrealistic expectation as to what visualizing means. Many people think that if they're to visualize something, particularly in hypnosis, that it's supposed to seem as if that thing is actually there. That's not the case. Even the best visualizers will tell you that their images are often coming in and out and they're not necessarily completely sharply focused. So it's the first thing we want to explain to them is that most people do not make crystal clear images in their mind, and we're not expecting them to do that. We just want them to use their imagination as best as possible. So one of the ways I would do it is I say, okay, here's what I want you to do. I just want you to close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to think about a chair. Just about imagine any type of chair at all. Got one? And they go, yeah. I go, okay. What's it made of? And they might go, leather or wood or whatever. They go, great. Okay, what color is it? And they go, brown. Okay, great. And I go, great. That's visualizing. That's all I'm asking you to do. So if you can imagine a chair like that, then we're good to go. All I want you to do is to imagine something. But a lot of times the problem occurs because we use this word visualize. And one of the ways of getting around that, and so if you're doing any sort of suggestive work, is to use the phrase, I want you to picture, imagine, or at least think about being in XYZ situation. Now that covers all ranges of possibility, because some people say, oh yeah, I can picture that. There's other people, oh, I can't picture that. Imagine, well, yeah, I can imagine, or at least think. Well, everyone can think about being in a situation. So just use picture, imagine, or think. And that normally takes care of it. Now, this is a relatively new phenomenon. It's only been around for about 10 years ago. And that's this idea of something called aphantasia. And this has been taken up by the social media influencers everywhere. That suddenly it's like the new form of neurodivergency. That suddenly, oh, I've got aphantasia. Now, and this is where literally people can't make any images in their mind at all. Now, having worked with thousands and thousands of people, I have yet to come across anyone who is truly got this condition. That doesn't mean to say there isn't anyone out there, but my experience is that I haven't found one yet, and the people who claim that they can't make images in their mind have just got a different complex equivalence as to what they think making images in their mind is. And when you break it down, they are making images. And if you watch some of the videos of some of these social influencers who claim to have aphantasia and they are talking about their condition, you watch their eye patterns. They're up in the visual field all the time, and they're often using visual predicates in their language. And so what I'm thinking is, and certainly when I'm working with clients, is that they are visualizing things. They have got visual memory, but that visual memory comes in so quickly that it's in and out of conscious before they're really even aware of it. So in fact, they're actually very, very good at doing visualization. They're so good that it's in and out of consciousness faster than they can think about it. And so that's often the case. So if someone comes in and says, I have aphantasia, I'm not going to get in an argument with them about whether or not they do. I'll just go, okay, well, I just want you to think about being in this situation. Can you do that? Oh yeah, great. Because I really don't want to get into labels. Now, the interesting thing is, even people who have got true aphantasia can learn to create visual imagery. There's a process called image streaming. It was originally created by someone called Wim Wenger. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. It could be Wim Wenger. But if you look it up on Google, you'll find information about this. And this is about training the brain to become more creative on visualizing. And many people who have been labeled as having aphantasia have actually been able to improve their ability to see images. But the main thing is most of the time that's not the case. And if you start worrying about, oh, I wonder if they're aphantasic, then you're going to slow yourself down. You don't need people to make crystal clear images in their mind. So the phrase picture, imagine, or at least think about being in such a situation covers all range of possibilities, and I've never had a problem with it. What I would say to you is whenever you're doing any type of guided imagery, you need to be careful about the content that you use, because sometimes you can inadvertently suggest something and it's like you might use some particular visualization which you might think is really relaxing, and it's the it puts the fear of God in the person you're trying to relax. I remember hearing many years ago, one of my teachers, Jerry Kine, said he stopped using visualization imagery many years ago because he had a client he worked with, and he was doing this sort of deepening type thing in hypnosis. And he was asking them to picture, imagine, or think about being on a sparkling white sandy beach. And it's a beautiful day, sun shining, beautiful, you see the sea and everything. Sounds like a nice relaxing image. Suddenly the woman he's working with has a massive great ab reaction. And she's in tears and she comes out of hypnosis and really is in a bad state. And it turns out that some years before, she was walking along a real sparkling white sand beach with her husband, and he died of a heart attack. So the image of a sparkling white sandy beach really wasn't relaxing for her. I remember going to a hypnosis training many years ago, back 20 odd years ago, and the guy there was a bit of a maverick in the first place, and he had this deepening technique. Now, I wonder what you make of it. This guy's deepening technique was, I want you to imagine yourself going into a lift or an elevator, depending on what part of the Atlantic you're on. Imagine yourself going into the elevator, into the lift, and the doors close behind you, and then you press the button, and then all of a sudden the floor disappears and you start falling down, down, down. You start falling down deeper and deeper and deeper down. Wow, that's a great visual image. Now that didn't relax me, funnily enough. So you have to be very careful if you're using guided imagery, because what you may consider to be relaxing may not be relaxing at all for anybody else. So just as a little tip there. But the main thing is, if you get clients who say, I can't visualize, that's okay. You can give them an example using the chair, have them think about chair, what color is it, what's it made of. Okay, that's visualizing, that's all I'm asking you to do. And most people go, oh, okay, that's it, I can do that. Oh, and then when you describe whatever it is, just picture, imagine, or at least think about whatever it is. If you do that, you cover all ranges of possibility and you sidestep this whole issue of whether or not they can visualize. So be creative with this. Don't let it bother you. Don't get flipped out by people who think, I can't visualize, and then think, oh my God, what am I going to do now? It's easy. So remember, if you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. And if you haven't already, go and check out the membership section. I've got hundreds of videos in there, really advanced level hypnosis and NLP techniques at a really low monthly cost. So have a look at those as well, because there's some really informative videos there. So I hope to see you soon. Until next time, have